Krakowiak, members of the council. What we are asking your consideration on is amending the false alarm ordinance. The false alarm ordinance was put into place, were voted on in June of 2004. And it was based on statistically alarms that come in are between 95 and 98% false. And it was a tremendous drain on resources. And because of that, the priority of those calls was greatly reduced. If an alarm call came in, that would be what would be called a priority 3 call, and our response time was somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour to get there. If we, in fact, when we put the verification aspect on this, that meant that somebody actually had eyes on the house, actually knew that there was a crime in progress, and that elevated the priority to a priority 1 call, which means our response time was about 3 minutes. So this has been very effective for us. Again, alarms traditionally through all police departments are a drain on resources. They still have an extremely high level of false alarms. But I think what we're trying to do here is actually provide benefit to the citizens based on the advancements in technology that have come forth, especially smartphones and web cameras. I have a web camera on my house. I can pick up my phone and see if I had my alarm go off. I could see if a door was open, or I could see somebody that didn't belong there. I think that advancement for citizens, it's fairly inexpensive and very, very reliable. I mean, if you see your house and you see someone inside your house, you know that something's wrong. And that, again, would elevate our priority response to a crime in progress, which would be a very, very quick response time. So this amendment, it was brought forth based on new technology and also concern that citizens, have another tool available to them when they have an alarm on their house, and they have the ability to then verify that quickly.
Thank you. So we'll go ahead and start with our agenda bill, which is on page 73, and tonight is for discussion purposes. So checking in with council members, if anyone has any comments or questions to start us off. Yes, Deputy Mayor Edgar.
Okay, I have a theoretical question. What happens if the homeowner sees something happening, but by the time police get there, there's no evidence of anything happening? How does that not become a false alarm?
Well, again, if we're doing it based on video recording, again, my phone records what happens. We could go and see what they saw. And again, all false alarms we have a false alarm coordinator, and then I work directly with that person. We wouldn't find somebody if they saw something that they believed was actually, causing this alarm. That being said, though, there are still a tremendous amount, in fact, almost all of them, all the alarms that come in are false. And people, if they don't, can't be sure of what's, going on, they have a tendency to call when they shouldn't, and they're not relying on this ordinance. So I'd hate to see that happen. But this is pretty clear cut. I mean, like I said, I can see three sides of my house, all 3 sides that have doors, and I know if something's wrong.
So can I follow up? So then it would be incumbent on the person calling in to at least have saved the video so that it can be used.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we have the ability, any false alarm fine that we impose, they have the ability to request a hearing on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. No comments. Councilmember Wagner, Councilmember Armstrong.
Yeah, just a general question. Have you investigated other cities or municipalities that incorporate this?
Oh yes, when we implemented the ordinance, or when we brought this before council in 2004, there was a number of cities. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but there were a number of cities that had a verified response ordinance.
Successful?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Berkowitz.
No comment.
Thank you. Councilmember Tosta.
No comments.
Thank you. Councilmember Bell.
No comment.
Okay, thank you. So any further questions or comments? Okay, so the recommendation is to put this on the consent agenda on April 4th. Okay, so this one will be on the consent agenda. I did want to address Councilmember Berkowitz